Sort my fluffy hair out, my lovely roots. Oh, it's lock-in's great, isn't it? Fuzz. Right, so we are at our Friday class, which you might not be watching on a Friday. I've got to sort his hair out. Oh dear, I should have put it up, shouldn't I? It's just going to annoy me looking at it now. It's horrible when you have to look at yourself when you're doing live videos. It'd be nice if I could see you all. Anyway, so today we are going to do continuation of our trauma reflex. So we've been kind of doing that all week because there's quite a lot of moves to do. We're doing slightly short classes, so we can't do them all in one go, which is quite nice because it just plays into it all week, and if you've been doing them all week, then fantastic. So in a minute, if I see anybody come on, then I'm going to show you the moves that we're doing today. So trauma reflex is where you're a bit wonky through the side, so you might have a shoulder that pulls down and be tighter into the waist on one side. You might have a pelvis that's higher up. You might have a pelvis that's tilted forward or back on one side. Just is where you're a bit wonky, to be fair. Where the other reflexes are kind of rounded forward or tight back muscles down the back of the body. This one is for the side of the body. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do our usual arch and curl. We're going to bring our arms in and do our across the body and possibly bring a knee in, but I'm not sure. We'll see whether we need to bring a knee in. We've done that already this week, so we might not do that. We might just do our normal arch and curls with the elbows. Say hello if you're there. I can see somebody's watching, so it'd be nice if you said hello. So I know I'm not just talking to nobody. And then we're going to do arch and curls with arms. If you can't do arms like this, if it's too much, you've got, because you are rotated so high up into the shoulders, the shoulder blades have risen up, then you can do arms across the body. So as we arch and curl, you'll just wrap your arms across the body like this, because we still want to get this lengthening across the pectoral muscles here. We still want to kind of have them lengthening. So you could just do this kind of wrap where you just bring your arms back, rest them on the floor. When we do that part, we are going to do our sideline move that I've been talking about all week. We haven't done yet. I'll show you that in a minute. And we're going to do our back lying on our front, and we're going to twist through the back. So we're going to do a diagonal arch through the back lying on our front. Let me just think about what other things we're doing. We're going to do our legs. So we're going to do one leg over the other and leg side to side. So we've done quite a bit of leg side to side. That's played into the waist already, but we're going to go back to that and do leg side to side. So if you've been doing classes this week, you've been practicing and doing stuff around that side movement, you should be happy and long in the waist. If you did yesterday's class and you did the side leg lying, you should have a beautifully long waist with no limps, no sore necks, anything. We'll see. Anyway, the move that we're going to do today will play into your shoulders and neck. That will lengthen diagonally as well. So we'll build up to the bigger moves. So I'll show you those moves that I was talking about. So we're going to do legs over like this, going side to side. I'm in a very strange position, aren't I? I'll slide down a little bit. There we go. So we're going to do legs going down to the side, and swap over, and then we are going to go over onto our fronts, and we're going to do our lift. Let me slide down a little bit. Our lift where we look to the side and lift up, and then so I'm going to do it really exaggerated so you can see how much of a twist we can get. Some of you doing the class, you hardly lift up at all, and that's absolutely fine if that's your level, but just know that this is the kind of move we're aiming for, is this kind of twist here. So I'm really quite lifted up off the floor, looking over my shoulder. That hurts me, so I wouldn't do it that much when I'm actually doing it, but that's the kind of direction we're going. Yeah, when we lift up. Some of us kind of lift up here and we don't go very high, and that's okay if you're in trouble, but we really want to kind of be aiming for a twist through the body. So obviously you won't do it in that depth if your body can't do it. If it's too strong, I'm just trying to get you to see the direction we're aiming in rather than just a flat lift up. And then you would do it with your leg lifting eventually at the same time. If you can't do those, if you need to modify it, then you would have your head facing down to do it, and then lift the arm up, which doesn't affect the neck so much. And if you can't do it with your arm that high up, Then you could put your arm by your side, maybe look to the shoulder and lift up like this. Or you can look down and lift up. Just make sure you go with the breastbone line. Or you can have your hand here. Just lift the elbow if everything else is too much to lift the back. Or you could just push up and give yourself a bit of help as long as you're engaging the shoulder blade. So I'm pushing with my hand into the floor. Slide down a bit more. Push my hand into the floor and looking over my shoulder. So you could do it that way if it's too much. If you can't lift the leg at the same time, you just squeeze the bottom muscle. Always squeeze the bottom muscle first before you lift the leg up, because that's how you should fire your muscles, the order they should fire in, but invariably they don't anymore at our age, at my age. I love this position because you really get to see my roots. Oh, I love this lockdown, it's so great. All the things it's giving us. Right, okay, so then we're going to turn over and we're going to lie on our sides. And this is the one I kind of been building up to all week, but we haven't quite got there. You have a pillow under your head or not, it's up to you, depending on your neck. We're going to be opening. And when we open, we're just going to come back and forth for a while, and then we're going to end up with our hand under our head with our arm staying out for the whole move. Some people in class kind of do this, rolling, come down and then come back over, but we're not going to. We're going to stay in this position as long as we're not stretching. It's not so twisted that it's hurting us, and we're able to hold that position without forcing anything and using the body weight to kind of twist us. And we stay here, we come up and we roll the arm in. Your arm might be over here, you might roll it in here, your arm might be up there, you might roll it in there. It's rolling into these chest muscles that we're going to be doing when we open and close our arms earlier. And that's it. And then that'll be it. And we might go back to our lovely wash rag to finish because it was so lovely doing it yesterday. And there are moves. So arch and curl with your arms opening. Legs, knees side to side. Hello. Lindy, you've come back. You can have a go today, I hope so. And Elka, hello Elka, we need to catch up. Yeah, so there are moves today. So there's, let me just reiterate, it's going to be arch and curl. Sorry, I had a bit of Prosecco last night, so my brain's not quite working. Hello. And then we're going to do legs side to side, then we're going to we're doing something else, turn over, do our back lifts, and then we're going to do our side opening. So all of that takes quite a long time because it's both sides of the body. So when we're doing, we end up doing more moves when we're just doing same sides. Just talking rubbish, aren't I now? Anyway, so if you're watching this live, we're going to start in a couple of minutes. Otherwise, you just lie yourself down and have a little rest. I'm just going to keep talking till it gets to 12. I'm going on a clock that's not very reliable, so maybe we could just start. I just want to wait because sometimes people don't listen to this rambly bit. They just go straight in and watch from 12 o'clock. Fair enough. I think I would if I was watching me ramble away. We're talking about my roots, which you're going to get to know if you end up watching this. So I've got my pillow here, I might bring that in later. If you need a pillow in between your legs when you're lying on your side, have a pillow in between your legs. When you do the legs on the side, they're at 45 degrees to the body or 90 degrees to the body. So make sure that you're comfortable and they don't move. Oh, I've just seen something. I've been looking for these. These are my little earphones. I was looking for those and I've just spotted them on my table, so I'm very happy now. We can start. So I'm going to move your comments out of the way because when I look up I need to be able to see. I'm just going to adjust this without trying not to let it fall over so that you can see more of my roots. I'm going to slide that down a bit. Okay, let's have a body scan. Let's just lie down, do nothing. You don't need to see my head necessarily, which is a good thing. Let's lie down, do nothing. Let's get rid of the stresses by calming our nervous system right down at this starting point. So we're going to just do the scan that we did yesterday, both sides of the body at the same time, and comparing. So start at your feet, compare your feet, what's going on. I've got plantar fasciitis in my left foot, my left foot's buzzing away. Hopefully that'll have gone by the end of this. Usually does. I just walked the dog, so it's having a good old buzz. So check out your calves, compare them. My right calf's tighter than my left calf. Come up to your knees, have a good old look around your knees. Look at all the connections, feel them front, back, side, through the thighs, back and fronts, inner thigh, outer thigh. We're looking for tension, tightness, we're comparing them. Remember, this is the trauma reflex, this is where you see these differences. Pelvis, look around the pelvis, try not to listen to my neighbours talking. In the waist, lower back, abdominal muscles. Up into the rib cage. Notice your breathing. What moves when you breathe, what doesn't. Arms. Check out the whole length of your arms. I've got a tennis elbow in my left elbow, but my right seems a little bit more buzzy today. Might have been all the ball throwing for the dog. Look around the back of your shoulders and your shoulder blades, top of your shoulders, front of your shoulders. Lots of connections. You can have a look inside your shoulders if you can visualise it, feel it. Into the neck, upper back, front of the neck, into the back of the head, the face. You're just looking, comparing shortness, tightness. You want to get right inside your body. Top of the head. Try not to let noises annoy you. Try and just ignore them. Try and stay in your body. The more you get inside your body, the less aware you are of the noises that go on around you. So let's focus on our breathing. Bring your knees up gently. Feet flat on the floor, feet hip width apart. Adjust your back if you need to. Shoulders are squashed in. Check your feet are lined up, parallel. So slide them together. Touch the heels, slide away. You can always have a look, but don't. We want to keep our necks still from now on, or we want to keep them long and down on the floor. We don't want to keep lifting our head up. If you want to lift your head up to look at what I'm doing, then do, but do it gently. Don't sort of just fling your head up. You've got a lovely calm down nervous system by the end of all this breathing and the arch and curl, so make sure that you think about it before you do any movement, big movements. So breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, slow it all down. Just watching my rib cage move out to the side, seeing if there's any tightness. There is a bit on the right. Just breathing further and further down into your body. You might already be breathing down into your belly, just watching that movement. Watching how you can expand a little bit further down into the lower abdomen, to the groin. As soon as you're getting down towards the pelvis with your breathing and up into the shoulders and getting some nice expansion out to the sides, then start thinking about arching. So just checking out whether it's okay in your lower back. First of all, it might be all a little bit iffy. My lower back was a bit sore today, not sure why, don't know. Maybe it was the Prosecco again. Just gently arching your back, exploring it. Mine's moving quite freely, even though it was a bit sore earlier because of all the stuff I've been doing this week with you. So arching gently, bringing your shoulders in when you feel ready. So everything very small to start with, unless you're one of these lovely people that come to my classes and go straight in with bigger movements because you've been doing it for so long. Some of you might be doing it at home daily anyway. So I'm just arching, just want to get into the arch first. Engaging my shoulders back because they're all right to go back. So we're just making that arch happen along the full vertical of that movement from tailbone to the top of the head. The neck's involved a little bit, so it's already moving my head as I press the shoulders back and arch my lower back. Just watching how my back muscles release, making sure they're not bouncing or jumping. Same with up in my chest and my shoulder blades, releasing back, letting go at the back of the arms. The good thing with this is it gently plays into that bra strap area that often is the point where we start rounding from in our backs, rounding forward. So we're going to gently start curling. When you're ready, gently start curling the pelvis. Shoulders might join in automatically, that's up to you. You might wait a little bit till you've found out what your pelvis is doing. So we're just gently bringing the pelvis towards the belly buttons, tipping down, belly button sinking. And then going in the opposite direction again. So just arching gently, curling gently, seeing how much the back muscles want to lengthen or not. Seeing if it's the same on both sides, looking, as we're doing the trauma reflex, you want to feel into what's happening side to side. You're not going to change it, you're not going to start squeezing into the trauma side, doing anything different. You're just going to go into the pattern that's already there. And try and lengthen out of it. Without bouncing, without ricocheting, nothing violently moving. Doing it with the breath. Use the breath, use the slowness of this breath to make the movement happen. So I can feel my trauma reflex is much happier than it was yesterday because I'm very aware that I'm a little bit higher up in my right hip, but I did a lot of lengthening down the side of the body yesterday in the class, so my normal right-sided pelvic movement, there's nothing going on there, which is great. So if you didn't do yesterday's class, maybe go back and do it if you do have a trauma reflex, or quite a strong trauma reflex in your waist. So we're just arching, curling gently. Have awareness of your abdominal muscles, how much they squeeze, how much they don't. And then have some awareness of your neck. So come up into the neck and watch if your arch and curl's getting bigger, watch how your chin moves. So as we round forward into the red light, so if we're in our curl, your chin would jut forward probably. If your neck's nice and loose and your jaw's loose, and then if we go into the green light muscle tension, tightening in the back, then your chin probably drops down to your chest a little bit, lengthens the neck muscle. So have some awareness of that. You could just start with the arch and curl in the neck and watch what happens as it shortens and lengthens. When I say start with it, I mean watch out there. You could just be watching your neck movement while the rest of your body does its own thing. I'm going to do a few more rounds of this. Just want it to be smooth, doesn't have to be big. You just have to be smooth, have some awareness of what's going on each side. I'm going to do some more arch and curl in a minute. And I'm just going to start thinking about bringing my legs down. So I'm making this the last one. Got good awareness of what's happening in my chest and my back. And then I'm going to let go, bring my legs down gently. Even if you did that every day, you'd have lovely long back muscles, reactive muscles that don't tighten when you do jolting movements. You can do an arch and curl sitting in the car. I know we're not supposed to be driving anywhere, but when you get back into your cars and you do those long distances, you could do when you're sitting in traffic jams or just as you're driving along, gently just arching, curling your back. I often do that if I do a longer trip down to London. Holding the wheel, so you're not going to lie down, you just do it sitting up. And it's quite good because you feel the pressure against the back of the
car seat. Anyway, let's just bring our legs up again. We've had a couple of breaths doing nothing, just listening to me rambling. And now we're going to bring our feet back up, rest them where they were before, and we're going to bring our fingertips to our ears or side of our face, temples. If your chest, if you're under your arms is okay, your chest, your side of your body's okay with this angle, because you're up at 90 degrees now to the body. If you can't do that, just going to wrap your arms around the body as we arch and curl. So if you're watching this, I'm going to demonstrate that. Otherwise, it's fingertips by the ears, elbows coming to meet each other across the body on the curl, opening out on the arch. So they might not touch the floor to start with, they might come nowhere near each other, elbows, so just playing into this. So we're going to start arch and curling, and we're going to bring the arms across the body if you're hugging yourself, and slide them open on the arch, and we're just going to carry on that movement. Keep the jaw soft, use the breath. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel the muscles in your chest squeezing together, make them your focus. For a little while, focus on their upper back, between the shoulder blades, in the back of the shoulder blades. You've got muscles under the shoulder blades, you might feel those. They might be your restriction. Have some awareness of your neck. If you're doing the hugging, you might want to keep them a bit lower. You might have the hands under your chest line, and you might be squeezing down low. You might just be running your hands across your rib cage, just above your belly button. You still get that lovely squeeze, you still get the spreading of the shoulder blades. It's just not so strong at the angle. Have some awareness of your arch and curl. And make your chest muscles, your shoulders, your back of your arms, your focus. So we're just keeping that movement going. Remember, if it's too strong for you, you could drop down to the kind of chest hugging, or you could put your arms by your side, just roll your arms in. You could do the flower arms. Now, that's just arms by your side, rolling in at the chest. If it's too much to have your arms bent or anything's happening in your arms, the other thing we're getting when we do this, the muscles around the rib cage, under the armpit, that retract and protract the shoulder blade and the arm when we reach for something. They get very tight. Sometimes they get so tight that they cause a real strength problem in your arm. These ones under your armpits. When I've released them on people with needles, the strength comes back in their movement. So that's kind of when you do press ups and anything with weights around, retracting and pulling things, you can get your strength back just by those muscles getting back to their full potential. And they're the ones, the big fan muscles around the rib cage and into the shoulder blade. So have that awareness that you're lengthening those as well. So I'm just going to do a couple more of these. And then we're going to let go. We'll bring our arms down from wherever they were, lengthen them down by the side of us. Soften and let go. Bring the legs down, if you haven't already. I'm just sitting there with my legs up. Just let go, soft, 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 do nothing. So we're going to forget about our shoulders and we're going to go to our legs and our waist now. So bringing the legs up, feet hip width apart. Just adjust your back again if you need to. Bring the right thigh over the left thigh if you can. If you can't, slide your foot away a little bit. You might want to slide the thigh up the leg a little bit. You might have your calf sitting on the knee. It might not be quite over. Some of you might have it right over, dangling down the other side, depending on how your hips feel. If this is too much for you, some of you might not be able to do that at all. If you've had any hip operations or replacements or anything like that, don't do that. Put your knees together very gently. You might have a pillow in between as well. And then we'll take our legs side to side. So we're just going to go to the left. So whichever position you're in, your right leg over your left or your knees stuck together, we're just going to take the leg to the side and we're just going to feel our bottom, how the side of our leg feels, making sure there's no pain along the side of the leg, inner thigh, lower leg as we roll onto that bottom. You're just going to have a real good awareness. I'm not going very far, I'm not even going halfway down at the moment. My left leg's going down to the left, taking the right leg with it, and that's where you get some lengthening along the bottom muscles on the right. Make sure when you come back your pelvis goes back to where it started, so it sinks down into the floor on the right and everything's softened. So we're not trying to stretch that right side, we're just going to where the restriction is. The minute you feel it, so it feels like a stretch, you go back again. So we're just looking at the bottom. When we bring the waist in, we'll be able to go a bit further. So just feeling how it feels across the bottom, the side of the bottom, the glute muscles at the side, the back, top of the pelvis, how that twist feels. And when you've got a measure of all that and it's all right, then you can start looking at the waist. But the waist's already involved, but I want you to then make it a bit more of a focus. So you might find if you focus on the waist, that you can start lengthening a little bit more over to the side. Breathe in as you go to the side, breathe into that waist. Notice how that allows you to lengthen a bit more. I want you to feel how your inner thigh on the left guards you and how when you sink your pelvis back down it lets go. Or let it go physically. Think about it. These are slow. Keep going, keep watching what's happening. You might find that as you go further over, it translates up into your right shoulder. So that might mean that your right shoulder starts lifting up. Don't let it, push it back a little bit. You might have to turn the head then to the right. Breathe into the waist. Breathe out as you come back. Keep focusing on the different things that are going on rather than drifting off. You want to be involved in this. You want your mind's eye watching it all the time, asking questions. What's that? What's going on over there? Why is that hurting? I better not go so far. You know, talk to yourself, your head. I'm going to do 2 more to the left. If something starts hurting, make it smaller. So we're getting all that lovely lengthening up into the armpit, across the back into the front of the body. Bring the leg down gently, lengthen that leg down, bring the other leg down. Let go. My right leg feels about 2 inches longer than my left leg now. So bringing the legs up again gently. Bring the left leg over the right leg, or stick the knees together. Some of you might find you could do it on this side. It might not be your trauma reflex on the left, so you might be all right. You might just find that when you go over onto the right hip that there's some issue if the right's your trauma side. So be mindful all the time that you're not overdoing it, you're modifying it to suit you. You move your feet away from your bottom, it's a bit easier. If they're right up near your bottom, it's going to be harder. So you might take your foot away. Change the position of your pelvis, might change the muscles enough that you can do it comfortably. You might only move a couple of centimetres, that might be enough for you if you've got real issues. So don't try and swing into things or force anything. This is not about stretching. Always come back to the centre, let the pelvis soften back down into place. If you haven't already, start looking at the waist. Breathe into the waist. Remember, if you're getting further and further over, that you press the left shoulder down into the floor gently. Turn the head to the left if you need to. Remember to let your inner thigh on the right soften every time the pelvis comes back. Let it ungrip. It's been hanging on to protect you. And it needs to let go to lengthen. So leave it hanging on tightly. So we're going to do 2 more. And then we're going to let go gently, bring that leg down, lengthen the other one down. There we go, back to even length. Couple of breaths as ever, doing nothing. And then we're going to slowly, keeping the head low, so maybe bring the knees up first. Go over onto your sides and then shuffle yourself over onto your fronts. Keep the head as low as you can all the time, don't want to squeeze into the neck. And then bring your left arm down by your side. I'm going to lift my head up so you don't want to hear me muffled into the floor. Left arm down by your side, right, looking out to the right elbow if you can. If you can't, look down to the floor. Fingertips are tucked under your left cheek, so you've got a bent elbow, you're flat on your front, your left arm's by your side, you're looking to your right elbow that's near you. It's up at 90 degrees to your body, your top of the upper arm. Right fingertips tucked under your cheek, left cheek, or under your forehead. And then we're going to breathe in, lift that right elbow, look to that right elbow, follow it up into the air, and then float back down again. Slow, 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 slow. You know how slowly I do it from watching yesterday if you did. And then rest everything down, make sure everything's softened into the floor before you think about going up again. That's both sides, both chest areas, back of the body, bottom muscles. Breathe in, lift up. If you can't lift like this, can't lift the whole side of the body and look over your shoulder, then keep your hand on the floor, use it to help you come up. Breathe in as you come up. If you're watching this for the first time, I'm just demonstrating how you could do it looking over your shoulder without having to take all your body weight. Put your hand on the floor and just look over your shoulder and bend your elbow, come up. Or you could just lift your elbow. It's too much to lift your head, you could just lift your elbow because that at least is going to squeeze into the back muscles. Otherwise, we're trying to feel this in some diagonal twist. So you're feeling that your shoulder blade is going down towards your opposite hip in your back. Use your shoulder blade as well to lift you up. Slide it down your back. Some of you might just have that right arm by your side. If it's too much, just look over your shoulder to that right, lift the right shoulder up, arm by your side. That might be enough for you. We're going to do one more on this side. Breathe out as you come down, try not to let anything bounce. If it's bouncing, it's hurting, you've gone too far, it's too much for you, you need to modify it, change it. Look down at the floor, move your elbow to a different position. Rest down now, do nothing. I've just brought my hands up under my face. I'm going to turn my head in the opposite direction. Or look at the floor. So we're going to go back to that side. Left arm by your side. Right fingertips under your cheek on your left side if your head's turned to look at the elbow, or under your forehead. And then we're going to squeeze the bottom, lift the leg at the same time as we go up. So I'm squeezing my bottom muscles, I'm lifting my right side up, lifting my left leg. If that causes any problem anywhere in between, in the back, the hips, then don't do it so high. Just squeeze the bottom, just lift the elbow. So the full move would be to try to take your shoulder blade down towards that bottom that's squeezing. Looking over the shoulder, make sure your neck muscles are okay, make sure they soften when you come back down. Slowly coming down. Gonna do two more. Feel how that back of that thigh contracts. Make sure it's let go when you come down. Last one. Rest where you like. Try and switch your bottom muscles off, let the heels roll out. And then we'll go to the other side. So looking to the left elbow, fingertips under your right cheek, right arm by your side if you're doing the full move. If you're not, then fingertips under your forehead. Maybe have your arm by your side, maybe have it out next to you and just roll the shoulder back. It's up to you how you modify this. Floating down gently, breathing out on the way down. Breathe in on the way up.
floating it up on a balloon almost, balloon under your chest, inflating that left side only. Twist your shoulder blades going down towards your right pelvis, back. That's its aim, that's the direction. It's never going to get there, not unless you're a contortionist. But that's the thought process. It's that picturing that line from the tip of the shoulder blade down towards the right pelvis. Floating down, letting those muscles go, letting them have the potential to lengthen, let the brain understand the control that's needed. Do 2 more. These are very slow, so you don't need to do too many. They're strong enough in themselves. Everything's soft, soft before you go anywhere again. Check you're not hanging on anywhere. Breathe in as you float up. Breathe out as you float down. And let go. Rest where you need to. Couple of breaths doing nothing. Everything's soft. And then we go back to that again. And lifting the right leg. Squeeze the bottom first. Before you lift the leg. Lift the upper body as if they're trying to meet each other across the back. Float down. We're only going to do 4, so do it very slowly, got plenty of time. I'm still going, I'm just letting you do your own thing. I've got 2 more to do. Try and control your bottom muscles. This is my last one. Control them on the let down when they're coming, when they're releasing. Rest where you're comfortable for a couple of rounds. And then gently coming over onto your side. So try and keep your head down as much as possible. When you're on your side, you might need your pillow, or you might be happy to not have a pillow. But try and stack your shoulders. Knees are going to be to your torso, going to be about 45 degrees to the torso, or higher, a little bit higher, maybe up to 90. It's up to you, however you're comfortable, how your body feels, if your back's okay. Don't have them any lower than 45 degrees to the body, because we don't want you overbalancing, and we want to get a nice twist. So we're going to bring our arms out in front of us, palms on top of each other, long arms. And we're going to take the arm across the body, sweep it open. If you can't sweep it open in a straight arm, you could just slide it along with a bent elbow. Take it behind you, let your body twist over, look towards that arm, bring it back again. If that's too strong, you're not going to take the arm very far. If it's too strong, opening the chest like that. Then just sweep the elbow, leave the hand on the neck,
and just take the shoulder back behind you, because then you're keeping the elbow down by your side if it's too strong in this first instant to open the chest like that. So we're just going back and forth, breathing in, opening the arm across the chest, feeling that waist lengthen. Be mindful of that waist. Done a bit of twisting lower down, but we haven't twisted the rib cage around like this. Breathe in as the arm goes back. Make this the last one. Just notice how far you're turning without any pain, without any forcing. Where's your stopping point? Your knees aren't coming off the floor, knees are staying where they are. Don't let them the thighs slide over each other. Rest on your side. Actually, I think I'm going to get a pillow. I don't want too dangly a neck. Rest where you're comfortable, let everything go, and then we're going to do that again. We're just going to open the arm. Let it stay where it's comfortable. Find that point again, and then just come back an inch or two. Tuck your left hand under your under your head, so your head can rest on your hand, and then we're going to do a side lift. So we're going to squeeze up, looking at the ceiling if you can. Breathe out as you come up, squeeze up, come down. Arm stays open. You're holding it in a bit in the chest muscles, and then you're letting go once you're down. So you should feel that you kind of twist a little bit more without force. Breathe in, breathe out, go up again. Keep your head rested in your hand at the back, so your neck's protected. Come down, let those abdominal waist muscles, everything that's squeezing in between your rib cage and your pelvis, let go. Try not to let go of the chest muscle with that arm. You don't want to be squashing your shoulder blade into the floor. We're going to go up again. Breathe in, breathe out. I hold it up in the air a little bit, and then I come down gently, gently, gently. Breathing in as I come down. I let my head rest into the floor, the pillow, and then see how much my body wants to rotate without any force. Breathe in, breathe out, come up. Slowly squeezing into the muscles that are now in that position. There might be different muscles. You might start engaging some other ones as you change position. Don't let the knees come away. I'm going to make this the last one and then come back. So bring the arm back gently, rest on your side. So we're going to open out again. So opening out. Some of you might have just swept your arm across, just have your arm, your hand still bent at the elbow and let your hand on your chest. You can still do it in that position. And then all we're going to do is we're going to round in our shoulders. So if your hand is still on your chest, you just bring your shoulder forward as you come up. So come up, bring your shoulder forward, and then come down again. If you've got your arm open as you did last time round, then you breathe in, breathe out, come up, roll the shoulder in at the chest, roll the arm, and then come down, 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 gently, gently, gently. Unravel the arm at the end. So you do the chest muscles last. Breathe in, breathe out, come up. Roll the chest muscles in. It's like you're trying to bring the front of your shoulder towards your belly button, but staying with that twist through the spine. And then coming down gently, gently, gently. Unroll that shoulder. Just notice how much you're getting down, how much you're opening through the chest. My arm's nearly on the floor, and this is my trauma side. I'm going to do one more. Breathe in, breathe out. And the reason that is because I did a lot of these when I first started this practice, and my body's remembered, even though it's got tighter over time from all the other stuff that I've been doing, it's still remembered that it can go to this length without a problem, just within 4 moves. Coming back over onto your side, letting go, softening down, resting on your side. I don't think I stated which side I was on at the start, so it doesn't really matter if you're doing your left or your right side. So we're going to gently go over onto our opposite side. So I'm going over to lie on my right side, keeping my head down, sliding my bottom across. Try not to lift up. So knees to 45 degrees or 90 degrees, or somewhere in between. Arms out in front of you, palms touching, long arms. Sweeping across if that's all you can do on this side, opening the chest. Coming back again. Otherwise, palms going up into the air, left arm following with your eyes and opening across the middle. Keep the knees where they are, they shouldn't be coming off the floor. They might lift a little bit, but we just don't want them going with the pelvis. Pelvis stays where it is. Just investigating how far we can open into the chest, how far our waist lets us go. Breathe down into your abdomen as you're doing this. I'm going to do one more. Breathe in, open that arm. If you're sweeping it across, just check out where your chest is allowing you, waist allowing you to open to. And then come back and rest on your side. So that is a move in itself. You could just spend some time doing that. Opening and closing, opening and closing. So we're going to open again. So you're either going to open and rest your hand on your chest. If it's too much, drop your elbow down to wherever it's comfortable. So I'm resting my hand on the left upper chest, just by my collarbone. Just seeing how far my waist lets me open and those chest muscles. This is for people with frozen shoulders, all sorts of odd things going on with their shoulders. And then we're going to put the right hand underneath and we're going to lift up. Breathe in, breathe out, lift up into the waist. Looking up to the ceiling if you can. Some of you might be further forward. You might just be squeezing up into the waist muscles. And then coming down, 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 gently down. If you've got your arm long, just be aware of the weight of that arm. Don't let it pull you out. And then going up again, breathe in, breathe out. Hold it at the top and then come down gently, gently, gently down, breathing out, breathing in. Breathe out as you come up. If your hands rested on your chest, that's okay. Just protecting your shoulder. Last one, breathe in, breathe out. Oops. Come down. Notice how far your waist letting you open, and then come back and lie on your side. We're going to do one more opening where we roll the shoulder in. So open that arm again gently. Breathe in, breathe out, lift it up. Roll the shoulder in at the chest. Squeeze those chest muscles, bring them forward and down, and then come down gently from that side position, and then open that arm very gently. Breathe in, breathe out, lift it up, roll that arm in wherever it is. If the chest hand is on the chest, you can still do that. Just draw the shoulder forward. Your hand's a good indicator that those muscles have switched on. and then gently come down, and then let the shoulder, chest muscles open. Breathe in, breathe out, go up. Head's rested in your hand, you're not squeezing into your chest at the neck. We don't need everything firing up. And then coming down gently, gently, gently. Unraveling the shoulder. I didn't twist it in that time. Anyway, last one. Coming down, opening the chest. Oh, that's nice. My arms resting on the floor. Haven't done that for a while. And then coming back. If you do end up comfortably with that arm on the floor, the back of the body on the floor, you can lie there for a little while. It's very nice. As long as it's not forced and it's not hurting you. Resting on your side, letting go. And then coming over onto your back, and we'll finish with the wash rag, just because it feels so nice. Especially after doing all those nice moves with the chest and the waist. Get rid of your pillow if you've got one. So, feet go as wide as the mat. Wider if you're comfortable. Slide the feet away from your bottom so they're not right up next to it, because that's very strong, unless you like it, that you're happy with that. And then taking your arms wide, just up to 90 degrees at the most. And then slowly taking your knees side to side. It should feel all right after doing the knees side to side earlier. And then back to the centre, turn your head in the opposite direction. We should feel a bit more released in the neck from that last move. So but just be mindful of moving your neck side to side to start with. When you feel ready, you can start bringing the arms in. So the arm you're looking at twists back, like you did when you opened your chest earlier as we went up. And the other arm closes down like we did when we went up into that last move, and vice versa. So we just start swapping. So you'll have one side that's very tight and closed in, with the hand going down, the knees pointing towards that side, and then the other side being really open. Open in the chest, open in the front of the hip and the waist. Slow it down, feel into it. If you want to do this in more detail, you could look back at yesterday's video where we went into more detail about this movement, because we've done some lovely lengthening down the side. So all this week has been about trauma reflex, so you could go back and look at some of these if you like this one. If this is rocking your boat, making you feel longer and you feel the results, go back and look at the others, because they really play to this, and you're really going to get some great results if you do all of the days. Making this the last couple, or you can carry on, it's up to you. It's our last one anyway. It'd be good if you do the scan, but you could just carry on with this. I'm not watching you. So I'm just going to lengthen my legs down now. I'm going to let go. I'm going to do nothing except breathe. So, scanning your body again, side to side, start at the top of your head, work your way down, looking, comparing each side, face, back of the head, ears, into the neck, and down the arms when you get there, and then the rest of the body. And you're just looking for shifts, changes, feelings of feeling better in that area. Less tight, longer, softer, flatter. When you've checked both sides, then you can continue to lie there as long as you like. Or you can think about moving your fingers, toes, coming back into the room. Bit of movement. You can think about coming onto your side when you feel ready. Never just jump up from a somatic session. You've slowed your nervous system down. You don't want to scare the life out of it. You don't want to put it in fight or flight. You've just calmed it all down. You want to feel that nice calmness for the rest of the day, especially at this time. When you come over onto your side, then rest there. If you're staying where you are, stay where you are. Just ignore me. Have a little rest on your side till you feel capable of lifting up. And when you do, push into your upper arm. Use that rather than your waist. Slide yourself up. Have a little sit. Two of you have stayed, that's nice. If you're watching this at another time, then you can ask any questions at the bottom as well. All three. So, if you've got anything to say, if you're sitting up with me, then you can say it now. Or you can say it later. Or you're not saying anything at all, it's up to you. If you're still lying down, bless you, have a lovely little chill and relax. I'm going to go and nurture my slight Prosecco hangover with some nice lunch. A nice salad. I've got some lettuce. Ooh. And I wish you all well. I hope you stay safe, and I will see you next Tuesday if I don't have a chat with you in the meantime. People have been emailing me questions about the moves, or if they need modifications, any changes. So do that if you want to. I'm really happy to answer any emails that come through to me. Or text me. If you've got my number, you can text me and ask me a question. If you want to ask me about something else is going on, you just want to say hi. I'm quite happy just to have a little check-in with everybody. So lots of love, and stay safe, and mwah.